Would you like to support Cubs Out Loud? One way is to join us over on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, patrons get early access to our shows, the pre- and post-show, and various other rewards. You can learn more at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. Thanks to all our patrons for their support in making this podcast. It's November 24th, 2024. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Everyone else is thinking it, and I just say it.
And welcome to Cubs Out Loud Bear Podcast with indeterminate length and indeterminate topic. Episode number 763. And, well, I feel like the tryptophan has already kicked in.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
tired. Anyways, Gary,
Huh?
how's reality treating you?
Well, yeah, let's kind of talk about that. This is gonna be unusual for us because I don't think we've done a non-topic topic, quote unquote. It's gonna be a little bit of a what's going on, as it relates to things. But so yeah, it's 2 weeks after the election, and this is sort of a check-in, like how are we doing? Still here,
Mm-hmm.
taking it day by
Uh-huh.
day.
Uh-huh. Good night, everybody. Okay. Shortest show ever.
I mean, we are indeterminate length. We could cut it off right here.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we won't do that. But oh
We don't
God.
promise a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, here's kind of a topic from last time we spoke, which was over 2 weeks ago. By the way, a couple people weren't available last week, so I got a week off.
Woohoo!
Just to kind of point that out for everybody. But during that week, or the 2 weeks, I think I got poked twice. One from my mom and one from my dad saying, "Are you alive?" Because I'm just not present in social media and I don't actively try to text message or call them or anything because I have nothing to tell them. I just
Fair.
don't have anything to say. And then when they ask, "Hey, what do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Nothing. I don't want anything, just money and gift cards. Something that mom could send you." And I'm like, "I don't want anything. Just don't want anything. I don't care about treats. I just don't want anything." And my dad got all mad. I mean, this was all by text messages, so I had to take it. But I'm like, "Look, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I just don't want anything. I don't have anything on my Christmas list. And I have no need. I'm pretty much cut a lot of things down in my life. And I'm just, here I am. I'm good. I'm relatively happy." And then he goes on a little tirade.
Oh dear.
I'm like, "Hey, money and gift card. I don't really want anything." And he says something mom can wrap up and send to you. I'm like, "Nothing. I'm sorry to disappoint." And he said, you can only disappoint when you leave us out of your life. Love you and be good." That escalated quickly. And so
Well-
just for good measure, instead of not answering to anything to that, I just said, love you both too. And I'm like, this is awkward.
I mean, it to me on the outside, and I'm not passing any judgment. That sounded a little passive aggressive.
I know.
Oh,
So-
it totally
No,
passive aggressive.
it was completely passive aggressive. It was,
Let's
I'm Minnesotan. This is super aggressive.
Yeah. Well,
passively.
But
It was
it's
super
very
aggressive.
aggressive.
Passively.
I'm like, and honestly, those words, that hurt. And I'm like, I'm not leaving you out of my life. I just don't have anything to communicate to you that of any importance. Hey, my
Yeah.
job's going well. I'm not having any financial concerns, and I'm living it day by day. I have no problems whatsoever that are
So
everything. And I'm like, he's like, and it's like I have to like tell them everything or something. Also,
Well,
by the
let
way,
me
I later on I did end up like putting into our family messenger chat about Christmas lists. I'm like, oh, by the way, I did think of something I want, and that's a winter care kit. I don't have a scraper or a brush. You know why? I haven't needed one for over a decade.
yeah. So I guess so my first question is and this one might be the pointed question. When was the last time you talked to them? Did you communicate that you had moved, and was there
Oh
any
yeah,
communication
totally.
after?
I mean, yeah, it's not like I haven't talked to him in over a year or anything.
Yeah, I'm just like
It's
I'm trying to
maybe
get a
it's been
context
a month or
for
two. Actually, I'm sure I've been part of some sort of message series within the past month or so.
okay.
Okay, so it
Just
really hasn't been
I,
that long.
yeah,
It's just
I'm just trying to get get a bit of context because um yeah, because if it had been like oh I moved and I moved to I moved to a city, I'm yada yada yada, and then you hadn't said anything since then, there would be some concern because I'm just pointing that out.
yeah.
But I know it hasn't been that long.
My mom actually purchased a dresser for me, so
Nice.
they
Okay.
they're aware of the situation, and
Yeah.
it's just it seems because I it feels like I haven't had this sort of issue until I moved to Cincinnati.
So I'm gonna go ahead and point this out,
There
and
was
it's
been a couple
probably
times where
again,
they were like it, but it feels like they're doing it more now that I'm here.
yeah, because you're closer.
I don't know if I'm
Like
actually
point blank period.
closer. Or
You're
if I'm
you're
closer, I'm
you're
not that much closer because I think it's still a 2 day
you're
drive to get to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
it's not. I think it's 8 or 9 hours, if I'm remembering the last time I looked it up. But
10 hours,
again,
11 minutes.
yeah, thank you. It's about that. So it's because
So you could
That's
easily be there in
still
a
a
day.
bit. Yeah, I could be there in a day
It-
if I'm like get up early in the morning.
that's but what I'm getting at is you are now closer than you were before. You are now a few states away as opposed to several states away. So in your parents' mind, and again, passive aggressively as they're doing this to you, this is what they're doing, by the way. Um, since you're closer, they have this belief that you will be more communicative and maybe come more or whatever. Like you haven't given any indication, trust me, I know this, any indication that you want to or will choose to be, but because you are in closer proximity, it is their understanding that you will be able to be closer. I live 2 hours away. I live 2 hours away from home. Like home is a for me like a
Mm.
non-transfer bus drive away, hour 45. Um, but I see my family pretty much around this time. Like this is like Thanksgiving is usually the only time I actively see them. Do we talk? Yes, we don't, but we don't talk every month. We don't talk every week.
Mm.
Um, I'm in a group Facebook chat with my cousins, and I'm pretty again, but I'm also pretty active and socially on social media and stuff. So I would hope that no one has a reason to worry about me in that sense. But uh, I think you're when you lost when you weren't as active on social media, they didn't have a way to connect with you, and when you're not as engaged in other things, but you're closer than you were before. That's what their mind is saying. Oh, he's not communicating, so um, there must be something wrong, or there must be something going on, or whatever. Like I don't, I can't really say what your parents were thinking, but I feel like that closer proximity is what's prompting this. Um,
Yeah, I mean, if I
because
was in, if I had moved back to the Twin Cities, sure, but I'd probably be seeing them a bit more because they'd be like, "Hey, do you want to come over for Sunday dinner?" And I'd be like, "Sure,"
right,
and we'd be just hop, skip, and a jump over there. That's no big deal. But
yeah,
and I would actually do that because I'm actually, you know, there.
yeah,
But
and I think
with but because I'm still not an easy trip because even I wouldn't want to drive for 10 hours in
right,
one day. I mean, I would still consider that 2 days. I would just be driving a little less and or at least show up on the second day a lot earlier than I would. But it's it's just this fact of I think part of it also might be the fact that I don't want my mom to send me anything. I mean, she would send cookies and treats and such. And honestly, yay. I don't find it thrilling or anything. And nowadays, most of the stuff I can't necessarily eat. Um,
right,
uh, just finding time to try to get the dentist appointment or something to continue
yeah,
figuring out my teeth is just a pain. And right now I'm surviving without having to worry too much about it as it is. So it's like not high in my priority list. And
right,
I have my issues, nothing they can do about it. And nothing that's really causing me any stress or anything.
yeah,
And I communicate with people when I feel like I want to communicate with people, when I have something to say. But if I don't have anything to say, I'm not going to say it. It's just
yeah.
quite
I'm
personal.
just I'm that's yeah. I think that's part of it. And again, speaking on your parents' behalf, I think it's just a matter of yes, we would love to talk more.
Mhm.
I think the way he said it was kind of shitty, just gonna be point blank and honest. Like that was just a little like kind of again, like you said, very passive aggressive, very, very, very passive aggressive, and kind of annoying. I'll use that word. That's the word that comes to
And
mind.
it
Annoying.
actually makes me want to talk with them less.
Right. It's doing the opposite, right?
Yeah, it's
You're
pushing me
yeah,
away versus
right.
trying to bring me in.
Yeah. And I know, I know the holidays coming up and I know that's a thing. And I know this is the time of the year and the time of the season and yada, 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 and all that stuff. But sometimes, um, we don't want to engage. And as you've indicated, you don't necessarily need anything for Christmas. You don't want anything for Christmas. You've indicated what you want, which is, you didn't say you're not saying nothing. You're just saying, hey, gift cards, money, like I don't have a specific need right now. You gave them another one, but like at the time,
Mhm.
you're like, I don't have a specific need, which is fair and
Mhm.
accurate. Like Jim asked me the other day what I want for Christmas. I'm like, I have no idea because I don't want for anything. I don't have a specific need for something. I could put a list together and be like, oh yeah, maybe this, but that's more of a like, oh hey, like this has been on my like Amazon wish list for weeks now or months now. Here, like instead of me buying it,
I actually think I have things on my Amazon wish list.
yeah, like
So if they could dig that up,
yeah,
I might have some.
that
But I think it's like a 4K TV, a couple
yeah.
of some of the more expensive stuff.
I would
But
love it. Like I'm not gonna say this to Jim, but like if my family asked me for something, which they usually we don't do Christmas as much as we did used to. But if my family were to ask me what I want for Christmas, I'd be like, oh, just Amazon gift cards. Like I'm dead serious. Like I have gone through the like younger time of like wanting specific things or needing specific things. Um, Now it's like I would prefer to get the money or the gift card or whatever so I can then buy the specific thing I
mhm.
want.
And honestly, I think sometimes that is well, depending on the person, because when you think of things, we talked about love languages on the show, one of them being gifting, right? Sometimes you
Hmm.
want to be gifted things.
Right.
Apparently that's just not one of my love languages.
Yeah. I would like if well, I don't know how it would get here, but and she really wouldn't do it anymore. But anyway, my mom, if she was like, I want to send you some mac and cheese. I love her fucking mac and cheese. Like, okay, yeah. Like, thank you. I will gladly take that because
Mhm.
I will eat the shit out of that. Um, but I doubt that's something that she would put the effort into. Actually, she would. If I asked for it, she probably would. But I'm not going to ask that of her because personally, I am not the biggest fan of that, of like food being transported through the mail in that way.
Especially
Sometimes I'm
perishables.
okay with it. Yeah. Perishable things, not so much. Like a dairy item that is, yes, if you put it on ice, it could potentially work. Like I've been thinking like total tangent since we're talking about anything. Like every time I think about Jenny's, Gary, and doing
Uh-huh.
Jenny's ice cream, every time I think about it, I'm like, I really would love to do that. One, it's so fucking expensive. Two, it's like I am always worried about perishable stability and mail. Um, the macarons we've gotten through the mail in the past have been sort of the out of my wheelhouse, like because they have gotten here, and typically, most of the time, it has been fine. There have been other times when it's gotten here, and the ice pack is warm. So I am concerned, and so they immediately go into freezer, most of them, and they don't get touched for a couple of days because I'm just like I don't know. And but again,
Fair.
that's just a personal feeling about it all. Um, like my mom had used to send me. Um, she's done fruit through the mail, like pears and apples and such, and that's through a company that has been doing this for like decades. So you would hope that they have a good method of maintaining all of this.
Gotcha.
So
Mm.
yeah, so and plus I really don't eat the pears because I don't like pear. Um, Jim does.
Pears.
Jim loves pears. I do not. I have never liked. Well, that's not true. I've liked cooked pears, like
Oh,
like
that's fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
raw pear. No, cooked pear. Yes. But anyway,
Anyway, so that's what's been stressing me. Gary, how about you, since you kind of brought this lack of the topic up?
I am laughing because like this was gonna be not a show today, and you two have been just like just like going, and I'm like,
I
oh,
kind of had
all right.
something to talk about or
Yeah.
complain
Well,
about,
right,
bitch about.
but,
I don't know.
I'm
Like,
the one
again-
that had like three specific things to discuss because I wasn't expecting y'all to like have anything because this was kind of not a topic
I
and
mean,
thrown last minute together.
I haven't really talked yet. I've talked about Zeph's stuff. I haven't really said anything
That's
for
true.
me. But you go ahead, Gary.
Um,
After you.
oh, thanks. So last weekend, both Damon and I were away. I had my birthday weekend, Friendsgiving. Had a good time. Got to see some fuzzy faces I haven't seen in quite a while, actually, years, and did some fun things. Then came home and had this head cold thing. So, Damon, don't get alarmed. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, head colds are a thing, but I was like annoyed because I don't get sick and I don't get colds very much or anything. So that was on Monday, and my sinuses were just a mess, and I was very irritated because I traveled that day back home. And then Tuesday morning, woke up and had a headache, and I was feeling achy, and like actually I felt like shit, and I was like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna challenge a theory. And this motherfucker got COVID for the second time.
Oh no.
So I'm on my last day of Paxlovid. I reached out to my PCP on the app. I was like, hey, I took 2 tests because this is how the shit went down. Because I was supposed to go to work on Tuesday morning, and I took an old test that was expired, air quotes expired, because if you pay attention, the government's like, well, even though it says it expired, it might still be good. So you have to like check the brand and the manufacturer and the date and all this crap in the lot. And I had some of those, so I took that, and that motherfucker lit up like a Christmas tree in roughly a minute. So I didn't even have to wait the full 15 minutes for the test.
Wow.
And that made me mad. So
That's fair.
So then I took a current test as a backup because I was like, well, technically that's expired. So I'm just going to double down. And so then I took another one, which is a current one that isn't expired. And then that bitch also just lit up. Like there was no waiting. Like, so if you take a rapid COVID test, it shows you the actual reaction and the control, the test and the control. So like as it, as the substrate, fills up with your spit, well, your snot actually, whatever, in the buffer, like it hits the T first and it goes to the C, and both of them. So I took a picture of the two of them side by side. I sent it to my boss. I was like, hey, so this is a thing. I'm sick. I'm going to go hold of my PCP. I'm going to get some Paxlovid. I'm not coming into work. And they were like, okay, take care of yourself. I mean, what else are they going to say? And then I had to turn around and text the housemates, my chosen family, who I had just been with for 4 days, and tell them because I was around them. And now I'm worried that possibly they're going to come down with it as well. I also had been in an important meeting the previous afternoon, which is why I came back earlier than I planned to on Monday. So I had to tell, this was a union meeting. So I had to tell important people for my employer, as well as other people I work with, that they were exposed by me, unfortunately. So yeah, that sucked. And then my PCP didn't want to give me the prescription at first. They were concerned about side effects, but they did say via the nurse that since I've had it before, meaning the prescription, and I tolerated it, they would be willing to prescribe it. They were just hesitant, basically. And I said, yes, please send the script. Because I'm miserable. I'm going to be more miserable, and I want this over as soon as possible. So luckily they did get the script in, but that didn't go until Wednesday. And by then it was just really starting to hit me full boat. So, and because I had to do some stuff for work specifically, I was supposed to travel and be gone to the statewide coalition I serve on. So I had to go into work, get my work laptop, come back home so I could work remotely to do this thing. So yeah, it was a whole week. Anyways, I got my script. I was masked. I was very good around people, but it did feel weird because like nobody masks anymore. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I have had. So here's my theory: this version of COVID, this variant, is either learned how to be a little bit more subtle, but also it's just an absolute dick about symptoms. Because I've had this head cold for like a week now, and I became nothing but a mucus snot factory, and it hasn't stopped. And I know that sounds gross, but it's the reality. So that's why I said I'm trying not to freak you out, Damon. But I know you got a head cold thing going on, but I'm like, just be careful. So either it's that, or I got a double whammy. I got COVID, and I have this rhinovirus head cold thing that I just can't get to go away. So
Isn't COVID related to the common cold? Thought I heard that. I could be wrong.
No, I mean,
Thought I heard something about it.
I don't know if the common cold is considered a zoological.
There's
It's a single strand RNA virus.
That's we're Googling.
There's a like it's not a close relationship, but they're somewhere along the chain. They're relatively close compared to like the flu or something.
Yeah. So according to the quick AI overview, they say yes, but it's only because they're caused by viruses and spread in similar ways.
Yeah.
COVID-19 is caused by a specific virus. The SARS-CoV-2 virus, while the common cold is usually caused by rhinoviruses. So that part.
Yeah. I mean, they have similar. Some of the symptoms overlap in the pathways, but and apparently there are 3 different groups of rhinoviruses that break down to a lot of other things. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I either I got a double whammy or COVID has kind of like co-opted and like done this whole head game thing. But anyways, so yeah, so this will be my second podcast episode having COVID. Yay! Not really. So yeah, it was not enjoyable. I was so happy to like get the script because I was like, I just need to get through. I just need to get just need to get through like a good 18 hours. I need to get like 2 doses in me. I'll be fine. And I'm on my last day. I have 1 more dose. So there's that. Hence, I'm wearing my comfy because I don't give a shit because I've been like I'm going to own this. And I think it gets worse as I get older. I become more cranky and irritable and like, I don't do illness well.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
So luckily, I don't have a spouse or a partner or anybody in my life right now because I probably would have drove them goddamn nuts. You know. But I will say this, and then we'll continue, Damon. I have been refreshed by Blue Sky. It is like sort of giving nostalgia of old days of Tumblr and when we moved to Twitter before the algorithms got crazy and shit.
Fair.
So that's been nice.
Mm.
because it's actually things that I want to see,
Right.
and there's no ads.
And everybody
That's
probably
true.
noticed if they were following Cubs Out Loud on Blue Sky. The episode posted there.
Ah,
Yay!
yay.
That integration worked perfectly.
Good. Yay, Blue Sky. Yeah, I agree with that, Gary. It has been quite refreshing to like have a feed of all of the things that I want to see. Um, even if that's just a bunch of dick. Like I'm just gonna be blunt. Like like currently my Blue Sky is very not safe for work. It is extremely not safe for work.
Mhm.
That being said, though, I am appreciative of the like way it works, and I'm not like the big thing is I'm not dealing with ads. The second part, best part is um, it's me, it's who I want to see. I'm not getting just random people. Like I could, but I am getting random follows from people because it's now open and yada yada yada.
Right.
But I can block those people, and I know they won't be
That
able to
part.
see anything. I just had one today, and I don't know who you were, but I appreciate you for following me. But when I can't designate your age
Oh,
and you don't live in the United States and I don't know you, um, I'm going to err on the side of caution and block you. I'm sorry, but like that's one of the things I'm loving about it so far is that I can block somebody and then they won't see anything.
hmm
So, and I feel bad, and maybe I could have reached out to this person and talked to them, but I am erring on the side of caution for now. I don't want necessarily to have that in my feed, and I don't necessarily want to be in their feed and there be an issue. So I am typically keeping things filtered as much as I can. It's not perfect, but it's there.
I hear you. I will say this: there's a lot of customization to Blue Sky. I'm appreciating that. So, like, definitely poke around in the settings, see what's in there. By the way, if y'all didn't know, you can now have multiple profiles on Blue Sky, and you can link them. And they changed the interface of the app. So if you have the app loaded to like a smart device, like a cell phone, you can quickly and easily bounce between them. So like if you want to have your like NSFW version and you want to keep that totally separate from like your professional / work version or whatever, you can easily do that and go back and forth between them. So
Right.
um
Yeah. But currently I have my NSFW one, and then I have my not mine, but I didn't have Cubs Out Loud. Like, and I really do love that I can just like bounce back and forth relatively easily. I haven't
Right.
added I haven't added a third one yet. Like I've been thinking about doing a safe for work one. Um, but we'll see. I'm also trying to decide if I want yet another social media account. That's the other part. So
that part, right.
for sure.
No, that's fair. So yeah, I've been enjoying. I just think it's refreshing. I don't know how else to say it. Um so yeah, there's that part. Um and they're over 20 million
Mm,
users. So they've been growing at quite a clip. There were several days where they got a million a day. So
nice.
that part's been enjoyable.
Probably a lot of Americans.
Yeah, that thing. You know?
Yeah.
And in that part I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm back at like, okay, so there's the clown car. Just watch it remotely.
Yep.
So there's that piece of things. Anyways, Damon, you?
It has been a very interesting couple of weeks. As Gary mentioned, we are both, away. I was down in Louisville. I'm literally going to be there. I was there 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to be there back this week for holiday. But I was there for the Renaissance rebirth, retooling of the Mr. Kentucky Leather Contest. I helped judge it. Um, I was happy. Jody, one of the producers, reached out or talked to me at an event that I was at and asked me about judging, and I said absolutely, because Kentucky has always been a good place for a lot of my friends. Miss Tammy is one of them. Chess is another. There are a few others who have been on the show that have um, always been great leather community folk for me. So having the community come back together was really amazing to see. Uh, it was a fun weekend away, um, and I'm glad I went. So and got to experience it. There are some hiccups, yada yada, but the organization is definitely looking to expand. They have um, this is the last Mr. Kentucky Leather. They will now in the future just be Kentucky Leather weekend. So and then who it'll be a genderless contest, and whoever wins will be able to choose their honorific. So similar to Cincinnati Leather.
Hmm.
So yay for that. Um, got home on last Sunday and Monday. um, got a random meeting from my boss at work, like added to my calendar. And I was like, well, what's going on? And come to find out, she is moving to another job. So uh, it's sudden, and she's going to be moving in 2 weeks. So, like the 2nd of December, she'll be at her new job. Um, So that's the thing. That's a transition. I've talked with our boss about it, and we're trying to figure out what we want to do. There's not much that they can do in regards to hiring a replacement right now because we are in a freeze because of the holiday. Um, so
They're not
the
talking about the weather
idea,
here.
ha ha ha, that's what this is about. But I'll get to that in a second. At least I'm hoping that's what this is fucking about. Anyway, uh, but what that means is we're going to basically do a trial of can I do it kind of on my own, because me and my boss were the team. Like we were the team. We are the stay team for an outsourced team. So we're with the company guiding the outsourced team and helping them with things that they don't have access to because they're not within the company. So it will be interesting. We shall see. I'll get a wonderful month, which is also one of our busiest months because it's holiday and I work for a department store company. So we shall see how crazy it gets. I'm leery. My our boss's boss, um, um, has admitted that she has not been as engaged with our and learning our stuff because it's just been us two, and there's not been a major need for backup because we're one of us will always kind of be there for the other person. So
Mhm.
she's not as while she knows a lot about it, she's not as nuanced. She doesn't know all the nuances, the things that could potentially happen, etc. So that will be a transition, and also weirdly enough, if there were to be someone to come in, there would have to be training done, and that's who would have to be training them. So that's going to take a while. It's not an easy. This is not difficult, but it's not easy, and that's kind of the issue. A lot of our job is, yeah, nuance is the word, because everything is a little different per claim. Everything comes a little different. There are some parallels, but most things are case by case basis. That's where.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm not. Uh, I'm not worried yet, but I also don't want to panic too much. But I also know has the potential to be a lot of work to do. So we shall see. And then there's this congestion. Literally happened this weekend. Has been a little. I have this happen often, like this sinusy allergy kind of thing where my sinuses act up, but there's no fever, there's no cough, there's just a lot of sneezing and congestion.
Mm-hmm.
So my hope is this is just the same thing that I've been dealing with. But I did just travel. I did just spend a bunch of time around a whole bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So, gotta hope there's some that are active that are not too expired. But I do have COVID tests. I may do one. I'm not going to do one right now because that would be silly.
Or very dramatic.
I know, right? But
It's okay. I understand. You want to one up me, bitch. I get it. Like you're just like you know what? Fuck you. I'll do a test live on a podcast and I'll show. I hope everybody understands. I'm a little.
You think you're special?
You're not special. I got COVID right now. No. But what's the word I was looking for? Well, to kind of get into kind of the other side of it in regards to like, post-election and everything, I will say my TikTok feed has been quite interesting. I've been getting a lot of videos. Yay. Thanks for algorithms. Yay, a sneeze. But I've been getting a lot of like people having conversations and talk about things, and FAFO is a big one, and just pointing out the main things. One of the newest ones I saw, which I was very appreciative of because it kind of drove home the reality of the situation for me. As much as we want to think that we want to try to believe in the good of this all, and it's going to sound negative, so bear with me. There have been like conversations like why hasn't there been a recount? Why has there been anything else going on? Why has like the Democrats not like yelled and demanded some kind of recount? And reality of it is there's no need for it. This is the reality. Like truth be told, this is the reality. And as much as we don't want to believe in it, we want to believe in the good of people. This is the denial stage of grief, is what this kind of that is the denial stage of grief. You want to believe that there has to be some reason for this to happen, that this happened, and the reality of it is, this happened because it did. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like this is the way people wanted to vote, and despite your beliefs and your hope that there was some kind of something behind the scenes making this happen, that's not the case. The reality is that this is what actually happened. So we have to eventually move beyond this stage of denial and go into the next stages of grief so that we can move forward. What did she say? The only way out is through. So like as much as we want to like wallow in this denial, and try to figure out what happened and think of things, we have to get past this and get through it to get on and move on and hopefully get through the last stage, which is I think acceptance, if I'm not mistaken. It is hard. It's going to be hard, y'all. It is. Um, but I think we've been through this before. Seeing all the things that are happening in the cabinet and all that stuff. Yeah, it's going to be weird and it's going to be rough, but we've been here before. We'll get through it again.
Look,
Try to make the best of it.
positive side to all this. I can't wait for the return of one of my favorite segments of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. The This Week in Trump segments.
Oh God. Ugh. I mean, I guess that's a positive.
I mean, just
That could-
think of all the material that comedians are going to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Daily Show is going to be even better. I mean,
Possibly.
there's material.
Yeah.
And just think. 4 more years? Not going to happen again. At least with Trump.
Hope so.
Ideally.
But yeah, the side of me that is anxious and worried has subsided in the past couple of weeks. One of the things that was happening during the Kentucky letter contest, as I talked about, this was part of like the head just kind of was asking a very, very pointed question about what are you outraged about right now? Because there's something to be outraged. There's always something to be outraged about. And it was very great to hear from the contestants. Yes, they're outraged about what had just happened, and they were outraged about the state of our community and hoping that we will start coming together. And that was the theme of the weekend, even though there wasn't like a actual theme. It was about community banding together because we've done this in the past. And the opposite side, the thought is to close the doors and hide in the shelters and keep away from it and stay, under wraps. But we should instead embrace the community and be out there so that people know that they're not alone. Because that's the biggest part of it. And that's how the darker side of this will win, is by not stepping out and being out there and being open. Now, could that change in a few months? It's a possibility. But I do think we as a community, and I'm not just talking about the letter community, I'm talking about all communities, should do our banding together and find our people so that we have people to connect with should things go wrong. Anywho, but yeah, other than that, and the work job. Wow. Okay. The work job. The potential change in work. Fuck. The potential change in work
At your job.
at my job. Yeah. God damn it. Jim's doing good. He's rehearsing and has been busy as ever. And he will start.
Oh yes, I
Yeah,
forgot.
Winterfest is a thing, and it starts.
It's his time of year.
Yeah. So that'll start in day after Thanksgiving. I keep forgetting. Like I think it's the Friday.
You mean this
So-
Friday?
Yeah, God bless it. That's right. It is this Friday.
Listen, kids, T-Bird holiday is just this Thursday. It is, in fact, 4 days away. Monday, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
That's how crazy time has become.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what happens next week? It's December.
December.
Yeah. It's insane. Like, before we know it, 2024 will already be over. So there's that.
Oh, yeah. That is a thing.
So,
Just another
So
month and a
that's
half of President Biden.
Hmm.
Approximately.
So yeah, we're so that's just a whole series of things. I think it's appropriate to the topic theme of this episode. So just
Yeah.
reality.
Does reality bite?
That was a movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't see it.
I technically haven't either. I just know the title. Wait. Yes, I have.
Winona
Right?
Ryder,
Wasn't it
Ben
like-
Stiller, Ethan Hawke, Janine Garofalo.
94. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this was like an MTV movie or something.
30 years ago. Production company was Jersey Films, distributed by Universal Pictures.
Directed by Ben
Released
Stiller.
February 18th of 94. So almost 31 years old.
Wow.
Film follows an aspiring videographer working on a documentary about the disenchanted lives of her friends and roommates.
Huh.
Received generally positive reviews from critics with praise for the performances of Ryder, Hawke, and Garofalo. Appeared on some critics' year-end list and for 94 and 95. Gained cult status for its depiction of the early careers of young adults in Gen X. So there you go. And the film's exteriors were primarily shot in Houston, Texas.
Nice.
Huh.
I think
So
that
yeah,
was
there's
around,
that.
around the same time of classic teenage, college age, angsty movies such as Empire Records.
Ooh, yeah. God, what was I doing in January of 94? I was in my sophomore year. Yeah. Sophomore year of college, almost flunking out. Probably in the midst of changing my major 5 times in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
That was about the same time that I had started high school. The end of my freshman year, starting of sophomore. No, yeah, 94? No, end of, 94, I think was the end of, that was
Yeah.
the end of my freshman year, I think. Nope, I would,
No.
no, that was my 8th grade year.
Yeah. Because I was like, that was my 8th grade year, was 93, 94.
No, I'm looking at the
It was still-
95 under Empire Records, and
Oh.
so it was a year earlier.
Yeah. 94, 30 years ago, I would have been, I would have graduated 8th grade and then moved into my freshman year of high school in the fall of 94.
That's the same for me. I was one of the youngest in my class. I was like right before the cutoff.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Like me, I got not held back. That's not the way I'm saying. I had to wait a year because of my birthday when I started school. I had to wait until 80 something.
Mm-hmm.
I think 86. It's about 85. So that's why I was a year behind. I stayed with a lot of people that were born in like 1980.
So everybody knows that Damon and I graduated the same year.
98.
Yep.
So
Class of 98.
I was a year out of college then.
haha.
I graduated in May of 97. I was a 5-year plan myself. But that's because I changed majors and almost flunked out. So,
Right. Yeah, I
there's
graduated
that.
college and moved here. I've been here ever since.
And with
Yeah.
that, I think that's a good end of the show, don't you think?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we could keep talking about random shit. That's
We'll save that for another day.
Didn't do you remember way back when we called these shows the shit show of shittery or something like that?
Um,
Gary's looking it up.
well, I'm trying to look it up, but oh, that's why. Yeah, we did at one point. I don't know why the spreadsheet is being strange. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Last time. Oh, that was a flashback. Sorry. October of 2016.
shit
The
show.
shit show that is life.
8 years ago. That am I doing
But
my
that's-
math right? No. Yeah.
But
we've
that's
had
wild.
similar shows, but I don't think we've ever called them shit. We didn't always call them shit shows. I mean, that one we did, but I think there were other shows that we had
Sure.
where it was just like,
Yeah. We didn't call all of them a shit show shittery or
Well-
something like that.
In March of 2016, we called it "It's a Shit Show."
that's
I mean, just outright. That was the name.
fair.
Back in the day when we actually gave each episode a funny title. What should we call this show?
That's wild to me. In October of 2016,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what we know now, right?
That was 8
Hang
years
on.
ago.
Right. Knowing what we know now, the title of that show was before the election.
Uh-huh.
So what did the elections? What did it look like after the election? I'm pretty sure. Did we have one of these? We did have our historic thing, or
We did on November 6th. Let me see what day that was. And the reason why is because really, I just want to see. So that would have been after the election? Yeah. Because that year started on a Tuesday. Oh, no, wait. Was that the year? Yeah, I think it's the year that my birthday was the election. Hang on. Interesting. Cast audience. Our historic 2016 election. We recorded it on that day. Yeah, well, we recorded that 2 days before for the actual election. We had no idea what was coming.
oops. In any case, so how are you all coping with the state of the world right now, or the country, you can let us know in various ways, such as popping over to our website, cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email at cubsoutloud@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail at 361-COL-TALK. That's 361-265-8255. You can follow us on Facebook, X, Blue Sky, and YouTube at Cubs Out Loud, the appropriate places URL. Go and join our Entourage chat at bit.ly/telegram-col and find out when we're planning on recording these shows, when we know what we're planning on talking about, by checking out the Google Calendar at bit.ly/calendar-col. You can get various COL merchandise over at Zazzle, zazzle.com/cubsoutloud, such as a mug, hat, shirt, various other things. Handy towel. You don't want to see my handy towel. A lot of those designs are designed by Smashy. You can find more of his work at tpublic.com/user/smashythebear. You can also subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/cubsoutloud. We appreciate all of our patrons for their support. And if you want to send us a donation to help us keep the lights on, you can check it out at paypal.me/cubsoutloud. And you can find us on various podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, etc. Find me anywhere on the internet is Boxset, Boxcub, Box something or other. Boxcub on Blue Sky. Damon?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as pup_umber on Twitter. Maybe. Or you can find me as pup_79 on Blue Sky. Those are not safe for work. For the safe for work stuff, you can find me as DMAGamer79 on Twitter or TikTok, or you can find me as TheaterCub79 on most bear-related sites. Gary?
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as GareBear73. If you want to follow the not safe for work Blue Sky account, it's GareBear73XXX.
And with that, say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe.
Bye.